Gotta get more followers.
Hello everyone, Canadian Futures Trader here. Gonna be doing a little overview, a little review of Elite Trader funding. It's time, guys. It's been too long. It's been a long time coming. I really like what they're doing over there. And I want to pass on the intel, give you my thoughts. There's definitely some perks, some benefits to signing up, being a trader over there with Elite Trader funding. Before we get to that, real quick, my website, we're looking at it right now. I love my website. You should too. It has all the best, the latest, the greatest trader evaluation deals and promos. I keep it updated every single day, guys. You can drop your email in here, get notified anytime there's a super hot deal. Don't worry, I don't inundate you with emails, only the best of the best deals, guys. You can also go to the evaluation page, find out the latest and greatest deals. There's lots of other great stuff on my website, guys. I don't want to ramble on. Free futures course, everything is free on my website. Got tons of articles and plenty more reviews, etc. So let's take a look at Elite Trader funding and see what they have going on. Front and center, first thing you see, keep 100% of your first 12,500 in profits. Believe that is the biggest amount out there. Where you get the first 100% all yours. They list a few perks. They're doing my job for me. You can trade multiple accounts, up to 20 with one login. Guys, if you're one of those people, and there's a lot of you out there that like to do the multiple account thing, Replicano by Flowbots, link down below. Favorite trade copier of the CFT, a little discount down there for you as well. Give it a look. Can trade those multiple Elite Trader funding accounts. Trade during the news, no daily drawdown. One of the big perks. Most companies do have a daily drawdown limit, not with Elite Trader funding. Several evaluation options. We're going to get to those, but I will give it to them. That is definitely a perk as well. They have a lot of options, so you can find what fits your needs best. So moving on, one of the next big perks, you can use NinjaTrader or Tradovate. I mean, you can also use TradingView or Rhythmix or Trader Pro, but NinjaTrader, Tradovate are going to be your two primary trading software. You have to choose one or the other for each account, but if you want to go with a sub benefit to having access to both of these, if let's say you had 20 accounts, you could do 10 under NinjaTrader, 10 under Tradovate, whatever your heart desires. Benefits to both of these, some people prefer one over the other. That is a whole other discussion. But just the fact that they actually have both available is a huge perk. I don't believe any other company is currently doing this. So let's take a look at their evaluations. I will admit the first time I looked at this page, it's pretty busy. But once you kind of figure out what they have going on, it's not too bad. They eventually have, and it's kind of detailed up here on top, they have the one-step evaluations, the end-of-day drawdown evaluations, the fast track evaluations, or a static account, which is kind of its own thing. For each of these, they kind of list out here on the left in the darker column what the summary is of the account. So if you're trying to figure out, do I want a one step, an end of day, a fast track? I don't understand. It's best to read the kind of summary over here. And I'm not going to walk you through the details of every single one. I'm going to try to give you the highlights here. So one-step evaluations are like your classic evaluation. There is a trailing drawdown throughout the day, but there's also no scaling. Let's use 100K as an example because I believe there's 100Ks for each of these. So maximum position size 14, and then you have your profit targets, etc. So you could trade 14 contracts out of the gate. There's no scaling, but you do have a trailing drawdown. That's the one steps. The fast tracks over here. If we look at the 100K, also 14 contracts, also $6,000 goal, but you have to finish them within 14 calendar days, which is effectively 10 trading days. So you'll notice they're a little bit cheaper. I mean, 100K fast track is $75, whereas the 100K one step is $205. Now, they often do run deals, but if you think you can finish it quicker and definitely within those 10 trading days, this will be your best bang for your buck. And then as well, you get, with the bigger accounts, the 100K and 250K, you get 1 to 2 months of free data once you pass. So there's an ongoing, monthly fee once you get your funded accounts. But with these, you get a month or two free, so some perks there. So again, if you think you can plow through it, get done in less than 10 days, this might be the avenue for you to go. And then if you're a little bit more conservative, you like to take your time, they have an end of day drawdown. So your drawdown isn't trailed through the day, it's just calculated at the end of the day. But on the flip side, it's going to cost you a little bit more for that sort of extra leeway. There is no scaling rule. But another perk, if you will, is that funded accounts also have an end-of-day drawdown. Why that's a perk is most companies, regardless of which account you're in, they always go to a live trailing drawdown once you're in the funded account. But with this, so again, this is the end-of-day drawdown evaluations. Even in your funded accounts, you get an end-of-day drawdown. And that's pretty huge, honestly. That really does give you a lot of leeway. And then the static drawdown, I'm not really a fan of static drawdown accounts myself, so I'm not going to really dig into it. Smaller account size, max position 2, smaller profit targets. Basically, the drawdown doesn't move at all, but you're pretty limited on the size with these. So, a lot to chew there, but there's definitely benefits to each of these. And what's more important is that you have these options. You have lots of options available to you. Not all companies will give you all of these options. So just looking at their facts, another pro that I kind of skipped over with all of that is that the minimum days is 5 days, and it was on all of those accounts. So normally it's 10 to 15 days with most other companies. So hey, trade 5 days and you will pass. And I know as well, they set up accounts pretty lickety split. Like the next day you will have your funded accounts. So let's take a look at payouts, and then we'll also look at the qualified/funded account rules. So we already mentioned 100% of the first 12,500 is yours to keep. Now, when it comes to payouts, this looks confusing. We're not going to go through every single thing here. Essentially, they have a scaled by time payout structure. So just looking at the 100K account, because that's kind of what we focused on. So first things first, you need to have a minimum of 20 trading days before you can request your first payout. So effectively a month. So I don't think that's too bad, honestly. Some other companies, it's 40 days. So 20 days, not too bad at all. And then for your second payout, you need to trade at least 15 more days. For your third payout, a minimum of 10 days. I believe it's just 10 days thereafter. But also the caveat in there is that you can only do one payout per calendar month. So you need to trade, say, a minimum of 10 days from your third payout onwards, but you're still only going to be able to do one withdrawal per month. Now, they also have some caps on how much you can withdraw for those first 4 payouts. So, first payout, your maximum is going to be 2,000, your minimum is 1,000. Second payout, same thing in terms of the minimum. Minimum is always 1,000, I should say, on this 100K account. It looks like for almost all the accounts except for the 10K. On the plus side, the minimum goes up each payment, $2,250, $2,500, $3,000, and then after your fourth payout, no minimum, no maximum. So from here onwards, you're withdrawing every single month, and you can withdraw as much money as you care to, as much as you can make. So you're throttled the first 4 months, to be honest. That is pretty common with quite a few firms. There's some exceptions, of course. So I'm not going to say they have like the most favorable payout structure, but I'm also going to say it's not the worst. The 20 days is definitely more favorable than some of the others. And the fact that there's no specific day of the month that they do withdrawals. It's just, as long as you meet these minimum days required and it's, a new month, you would be good to go. So looking at the elite account rules, which is, the funded accounts, it's just kind of a special name they give it. It talks about max trailing drawdown. Trailing drawdown basically stops once you reach your account balance. I believe it's plus 100. You see that right here. So the red line is your trailing drawdown. This is a 50K example. So, it trails, and then once it hits 50K plus $100, you can see that number right there. It just stops. So then, sky's the limit when it comes to your P&L. And I'll just mention again, so there's no scaling on any of these accounts, and that applies as well once you're funded. So that's another big benefit. So we've kind of been all over with this one. They have a lot of information on the site, which is good in that there's a ton of options for you. But if I had to cherry pick kind of to summarize the big benefits to Elite Trader funding, maybe over some of the competitors, one, just the options that they have, the fact that you can choose the option which fits you best. Within those options, you can choose something like a fast track and then get free data for a few months, or choose the end of day drawdown, and then that will also apply on your funded account. The no scaling is a big benefit, especially since that applies as well in the funded side. The 5 days, also a big benefit. And again, this applies to all these account sizes, so you can pass a little bit quicker. And then lastly, going back to one of the original things we talked about, having Tradovate and NinjaTrader available, huge benefit. Like I said, nobody else is really doing that. So if you have one that you prefer over the other, again, there's pros and cons to both. You have that option, and you can mix and match within your account. And then the final kind of cherry on top is that you can trade up to 20 accounts in total. So you can have quite a few accounts on the go. So guys, a lot of great things happening over at Elite Trader Funding. I personally know quite a few traders who are funded there. They're doing withdrawals. They're doing great. They also run promos. They don't run them all of the time, quite honestly. As I'm recording this, there's no promo going on. But for the major kind of holidays and kind of typical times you see promos, they do them. And hey, what's the best way to find out about the latest and greatest trader evaluation deals and promos? It's to visit my website, CanadianFuturesTrader.ca. There's a link down below. Guys, sign up for those email notifications. Thanksgiving's coming up as I record this in the United States of America. And as a hot time for deals out there in these trader evaluation streets. Also coming up then on Christmas and New Year's. Always some deals around those holidays, and you don't want to miss them. So be sure to check out my website. Be sure to subscribe to the email list. And while you're subscribing to things, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I put up cool videos like this with reviews, the latest discounts, trading some treasuries. You want to see Jigsaw in action, you come to your friend the CFT. And guys, I'm going to leave you with that. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you in the next video.
Yeah.